All right, welcome everyone. I'm really glad you're here today. Let me start by asking you a simple question. Have you ever wondered what exactly a medical science liaison, or MSL, does all day? Because if you're like most people who are new to the pharmaceutical world, or even if you've worked in the industry for years, you might still find this role a little mysterious. So today, let's demystify it. We're going to walk through the full job description of the MSL role. Not just what you'll see on a job ad, but what it actually means in practice, what you do, why you do it, and how it all connects to the bigger picture in pharma. So, let's begin with the heart of it. What is the core purpose of an MSL? The MSL is a field-based scientific expert. Your job is to build and maintain strong relationships with external experts, commonly referred to as KOLs or key opinion leaders. These are the physicians, researchers, and healthcare professionals whose opinions shape clinical practice. But here's what's important. You're not a salesperson. You're not there to pitch. You're there to engage in peer-to-peer scientific exchange. That's the number one defining feature of an MSL: credibility. Scientific credibility. Think of the MSL as a bridge. On one side, you have the pharmaceutical company with all its research, data, and pipeline. On the other side, you have the external medical community. The MSL connects the two through high-level conversations, sharing data, gathering insights, supporting education, and ultimately helping to ensure that the right treatments reach the right patients. Let's dig deeper into what scientific engagement actually looks like. You might spend your week meeting with KOLs to discuss the latest clinical data. This could be newly published phase 3 trial results or even preclinical findings from an early-stage molecule. You need to be fluent in the science, really fluent, not just repeating slides, but discussing mechanisms of action, safety profiles, patient subgroups, statistical robustness. You'll also field questions, some straightforward, others very complex. For example, a KOL might ask, is there any emerging real-world evidence comparing drug A and drug B in diabetic patients with renal impairment? Your ability to respond or to facilitate follow-up with internal teams is what builds trust. And often, you'll bring back insights. What are doctors seeing in real practice? Are patients adhering to treatment? Are there unmet needs not addressed in the current literature? These insights are gold. They inform your company's strategies. One of the most strategic parts of the MSL role is stakeholder mapping. You don't just meet with random doctors. You start by identifying who the key influencers are, regionally or nationally. You create stakeholder maps, segment your audience based on their influence, research activity, and openness to engagement, and you develop tailored engagement plans for each of them. Let's say you're launching a new immunotherapy for lung cancer. You'd identify the top academic thoracic oncologists in your territory, but also the rising stars and the community influencers. Your plan would look different for each of them. Some might be involved in clinical trials. Others might benefit more from education initiatives. Now let's talk about what happens inside the company. MSLs are not lone wolves. You're a key member of the medical affairs team, and you work closely with several internal functions. You collaborate with medical managers, clinical operations, regulatory teams, and even commercial colleagues, but with strict compliance boundaries. You may attend brand team meetings, contribute to advisory boards, support scientific training, or co-create educational strategies. One important responsibility: medical insight generation. After KOL meetings, you capture insights and input them into structured systems. These insights get analyzed and can influence medical strategy, health economics planning, or even protocol amendments for ongoing studies. Another big part of the MSL job description is support at scientific events. You might attend congresses, local, regional, or international. Your job there? Meet with KOLs, support investigator engagement, and stay on top of emerging data. Sometimes you'll host scientific booths or support scientific symposia. You might also deliver internal debriefs post-Congress, summarizing key themes for your medical or brand teams. Similarly, MSLs often support speaker training programs. If your company is rolling out a new advisory board or launching a product, you may help prepare the speakers, scientific slide decks, Q&A preparation, data deep dives. Being an MSL means being a lifelong learner. The science never stops evolving. You're expected to stay updated, not only on your product and its competitors, but also on disease guidelines, new publications, and evolving treatment paradigms. Most companies provide regular scientific training, but the best MSLs go beyond that. They subscribe to journals, attend webinars, follow congresses, even in their free time. That passion for knowledge is what separates good from great. Let's not forget compliance. It's a non-negotiable part of the role. MSLs operate under strict ethical and legal boundaries. You can't promote off-label information. You can't discuss price or reimbursement. You must document interactions accurately. You should know your code of conduct like the back of your hand. Every meeting, every engagement, every slide deck has to pass the compliance filter. And honestly, that's a good thing. It protects the integrity of your role and ultimately the trust of the medical community. Finally, how is your performance measured? Gone are the days when MSLs were only measured by number of visits. Today, companies focus on the quality of engagements. They want to know, did you deliver value? Did you capture meaningful insights? Are your engagements driving impact? Other KPIs may include stakeholder coverage, training contributions, Congress activities, insight quality, and collaborative projects. And increasingly, there's interest in qualitative feedback, what KOLs say about the value you bring. So, why all this matters? Let's wrap this up. The medical science liaison is one of the most strategic roles in today's pharmaceutical landscape. You're the scientific face of the company in the field. You're not selling a product. You're facilitating understanding. You're helping to shape how science is interpreted, applied, and ultimately how patients benefit. It's not an easy job, but it's incredibly rewarding. If you love science, enjoy engaging with experts, and want to make an impact beyond the lab or clinic, then this role might just be your calling. Now, before we close, I want to direct your attention to two important tutorials that I've linked in the description below. The first one takes a deeper dive into everything we've covered today, a comprehensive walkthrough of the job description of medical science liaisons, with real-world examples and practical insights. The second one is just as crucial. It highlights the three most common mistakes that MSLs tend to make, especially in the early stages of their career, and more importantly, how to avoid them. I highly recommend watching both. They'll add a lot of value to what you've learned today. Thank you for joining this session. And remember, the best MSLs are not just knowledgeable, they're credible, curious, and always learning. See you in the next tutorial.